everybody, if you want to learn some cruise secrets from some experienced cruisers, stay tuned because we're going to tell you about it right now. All right, everybody, the four of us right here have been on 19 cruises together, so we know a little bit about what we're talking about. And we learned a few things that we want to pass along to you. All right, we're going to talk about everything from booking your cruise to excursions to gambling, entertainment, food, and leaving the boat. So before we get into some cruise secrets, I want to introduce you to my fellow cruisers. Ron, are you ready to cruise, Ron?
I'm ready to cruise, Steve.
Margie, you ready? Vicky, you ready?
Yeah, ready to go.
All right. These are the ones we've traveled together. We've been all around everywhere together. We've been, Europe. Cruises in Europe, cruises in the Caribbean, Alaska.
Traveled around in the
all
car,
over.
out west.
We know a little bit about what we're talking about. So we're going to train you right now on some cruise secrets. So let's get started right now. All right, let's talk about booking your cruise. Should you book to a travel agent, wholesale club, or just book directly with the ship? There's a couple things that come into play here. One thing, but before I get into that, I want to talk about book your cruise a day early. Go to your site that you're going to book your cruise a day early. Like you're leaving out of Miami, go a day before, because if you're flying in, weather, all kinds of things can happen. You can miss your flight, and you will miss the boat, and they will leave without you, won't they?
Yes.
They will leave without you.
Yes, sir.
We've been really lucky that has never happened.
And you just read about, Vicky signs in for a lot of these cruise sites and all, and somebody just got in, they missed the boat because
their flights didn't
the
make
flight
it.
was delayed, especially right now with COVID, all kinds of things are going on, and you could definitely miss your flight. So definitely go to your location a day ahead of time if you got to travel there. Okay, now what do you want to do as far as booking? We've traveled all over. We booked our hotel rooms and flights and all ourselves for many, many years, 20 years. So we kind of know what we're doing. So normally what we'll do is go directly to the ship. We have a personal planner that we can call, and they help us book it, give us the best prices and everything. Now, if you've never been on a trip before, you never planned all that, you might want to go to a travel agent, which will help you book your flights, your hotels, the cruise, everything. If you know about the cruise, your flights and hotels and stuff, and you just want to book the cruise, some of these wholesale clubs, you can go through them too, and you will save a few bucks sometimes. They'll give you some incentives maybe to save 50 bucks here, or to give you some incentives while you're at the club or whatever. But if you got to make a change, you have to go through them, and they have to call Carnival. We have decided, I think, that we feel better going right straight to the cruise line. And if we have to make a change right the last minute, we can call them directly up, make the change, and it's done, versus having the time to go through a secondary agent. But it's all up to you. I mean, all this is just some general information, trying to help y'all book your cruise and all. But that's what we've come up with, booking directly through there. But it depends on your situation. Everybody's situation is different. If you've never booked anything before, it's kind of, it gets hard to book everything, the flights. I mean, Ron booked, booking the hotel rooms, and we all book different things, and it can get confusing sometimes. So it all depends what's going on. But that's what we've done in the past. So be careful on that. Like I said, if you know what you're doing, go straight to the cruise site. If you're not, go to a travel agent. If you know a little bit, maybe you can go through Costco or some other wholesale club and do it. All right, let's talk about excursions. A lot of times you go on cruises, you want to book all kinds of excursions. We booked a lot of excursions. Alaska, we flew to the glaciers. We flew all over the place. We did all kinds of excursions. But should you book through the ship or do your own excursions? That's a lot of question. A lot of people ask. And first of all, if you book through the boat, they have a record that you booked through them, and they will hold the ship until you get back. If you book your own excursion, that ship ain't waiting for you. That ship is leaving, ain't it?
Yes.
How we've seen
Right.
them at the
Right.
last minute. The people are running, trying to catch it,
Running
and
up
it's
to the
gone.
boat. Yeah.
Right.
I had one instance. I think it was down in Costa Rica, was it?
Costa
I
I
think.
think it was.
Anyway, we were on excursion. Actually, they held
Running
us up getting off the boat, so we were late getting to the excursion to start with. But we booked through the ship, and that bus scared me. Actually, we were running through those. Remember how fast that bus
Right.
was
Yeah,
running
around
through
the
the
mountains, and it was real fast.
Oh my God! That
Yeah.
thing was running through, trying to get
Yeah.
back to the ship, but
Yeah.
it was late. The ship was ready to depart. In fact, it should have already departed. We pulled up there, and everybody was getting off, going to the boat. And I was looking at the photos. They take photos for you. Look, and I was the last one off the bus. I walk up to the gangway, and the guy looked me in the eye and said, "Steve Andrews." I said, I'm thinking, how do you know my name? I'm just one guy. How do you point people out? What it was, I was the last person to get on the boat from the excursion, but they were waiting for me.
Yeah.
They had my name. They would not leave until they saw me and saw my name. So they held that ship until I showed up. So if you book the bottom line is, if you book an excursion through the boat, they're going to wait for you to get back because they know you're on that excursion.
Right.
If you don't, and you get out there in the wilderness in a taxi or a
Right.
bus somewhere on your own, they're going to
You're
leave
on
you.
your own.
What do y'all think about that?
Yeah. And we've done them all ways. We've done it through the boat.
We have done
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
Good point,
yeah,
Ryan.
yeah.
We have,
Yeah.
and you got to be. That's
Yeah,
another
fine.
point to make. You got to be very careful if you're going to book your own excursion. Hopefully, you're close enough you can walk
Right.
back if you had to, or you leave enough time in the end.
Right.
You can actually rent a taxi and get
And
back at the bus.
some of
But
the ports stay there a lot longer too. They'll go
Yeah.
from morning till night. So
yeah, you
have
might
a
be there
lot
till
of
midnight,
time.
so you got a lot of time that
Right.
if something happens, if your excursion left
Yeah.
at 6,
But if they leave like
Yeah,
9 to
60.
3, you're taking a big chance.
big chance. That's a good point,
Yeah.
Vicky. Yep.
Yeah.
So you gotta look at the time limits you have on that on the island or wherever you're at. Is it 9 to 3 or is it 9 to midnight? Because if it's midnight, and the one you're booking on your own stops at 6. You got
Plenty
6
of time.
hours to get back to the boat some kind of way. But if it's 3 and your excursion you booked on your own ends at 2:30, you got a problem. You could have a problem. So that's a good point to make sure. Look at the time zones you have of when the ship's leaving and if you do book an excursion off the boat, what time that one leaves. All right, let's move on to the next cruise secret. All right, let's talk about gambling. Right, Margie?
Yeah.
Me and Margie are the gamblers right here.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Ron and Vicky they do a little bit, but not
Little
as
bit,
much.
not
But we
much.
like the gambling. But the one thing you have to do, we've seen a lot of people
We have. Yes.
mad, arguing,
Yeah.
a lot of unpleasant people from gambling. So
Yeah.
what you have to do is you have to set a limit, whether it's a daily limit or a ship, the whole time you're there limit. You need to stick to it. Don't go mortgage your house on the casino and on the ship. Be careful. Because you can't do it easy. You kind of, I got to play again to win more money, win money back I lost.
You're here to have fun, not go broke.
That's it, man. So, but casino's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And if you limit what you're going to spend, it's still fun. But if you go over that limit and you get to a point where you start feeling bad, then it's not fun anymore. So,
Right.
limit your expenditures on the ship. Know what you're going to spend. Know the loss, and you have fun, and you're done. So, one other thing I want to talk about, the cruise ship does give you free cruises sometime from your gambling experience, depending on how much you gamble. And you want to always try to play all the things in the casino, even the table games. So when you go to a table game like blackjack, baccarat, or whatever you play, and when you go there, make sure that the pit boss gets your card, sees how much you put in. You might want to put more in than you're going to actually spend, but he sees, he'll write down he bought $500 to buy in, but you might spend $25. But he at least is documenting how much you put in. Even though you don't spend that much, you might not play that, but some table games, 10, 5, 10, 25, whatever. But anyway, make sure you get documented, because sometimes what they'll do is they see you playing on those table games a lot. They'll give you free passes to some of the expensive restaurants or give you some kind of promotional thing. So make sure you get documented if you go to one of those table games on it, that the pit boss sees that you're putting the money in. He'll mark it on there, how much you put in, how long you played, and everything. So make sure you do that to get credit for going on to the table games. Also, they automatically document what you spent on the slot machines. That's automatically goes into the machine and all, and they
that's
know.
all on your card.
Card.
Carnival gives you a card when you get on board, and that's what you use for your cash, for everything. So even when you're in the casino, you use that. So everything will be on that card. You don't use cash. You don't use a credit card. You use that, and it either goes to your credit card as a charge or a debit card or cash that you put down. So that will be the card that you use for everything on the ship. If you want candy in the candy store, that's
Right.
what you would use. That becomes what you use as your currency.
So at the end of the cruise, you get a bill. And so you might want to monitor that particular bill
Right.
every day just to
Right.
make sure you're not
That you're not
overspending.
going
You can
Right.
log
Keep it
in
within
and
your
look at
budget.
it all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can
you're
keep
keeping budget.
you
Yeah.
can keep a cap on your
Right.
expenses while you're on the cruise.
There's no money involved on the cruise. When you get that
don't have to worry
card,
about money.
That's what you use.
that's what you use for everything. Whatever, anything on the ship, you use that card. Whether you go to the liquor store and buy liquor, which you can't get until you get.
Well,
on
you
the
do
job.
have to worry about money, but you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
you do have to
money.
pay.
You have to settle it at the
The
end.
bill comes in at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
But
The bill comes
nobody
due.
knows until you get the bill at the end. So anyway,
You
yeah.
go,
And like Ron's saying, you can check it at any point in
Yeah.
time
Right.
on the
You can
computer,
monitor
on the
it,
ship.
yeah.
You can see how much you
Right.
spent, what's
Yeah.
going on.
Mhm.
So anyway, you keep an eye on that and you keep checking that. But anyway, that's all I got on gambling. Anybody got anything else? Okay, let's move on to the next cruise secret. All right, the cruise ships have a lot of different types of entertainment. They have a lot of shows, lounges, martini bars, bands, water slides, and they get all kind of entertainment. Ron, he likes the shows a lot, don't you, Ron?
Yeah.
What's some of the shows that they have on the ships?
Well, let's see. They have a welcome aboard show.
And does that educate you on anything?
Yeah. The cruise director introduces himself, and they have usually the dancers, and then they have various parties introduce themselves, and it's also interactive too because they ask the audience questions and that kind of thing, and so you get an opportunity to participate. And even in all the shows, a lot of times there is audience participation, and so they might have a show on marriages. Sort of like the marriage game,
like a game
show.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. They have a big talent show usually where the
The cruises
the
participate.
cruise could participate.
Yeah.
The cruise.
The best talent on the
The
cruise
talented
ship.
people.
I
Right,
remember
the best,
seeing this.
the best talent.
I just-
You audition for it, and you get actually to participate in the show.
Yeah.
A
And
lot,
so-
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of those are fun to watch and see
Yeah, they
what
have
people
jugglers. They have all kinds of
All
different
kinds of
acts.
stuff.
It's amazing sometimes. It
do.
really is.
They are shows are good sometimes. They really are. Sometimes me and Margaret stay in the casino while they go to the shows, but
Yeah,
That-
we do go to
Yeah.
shows sometimes.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
It's all entertainment. It's all fun. It's all you can't not have fun on a cruise ship, as far as
That's
I'm
right.
concerned. But
That's right.
they do have the comedy show in the evenings a lot.
Yeah, the
Oh
comedy
yeah, the
show.
comedy
Late
shows.
night.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
late night.
They have-
they have X-rated and
And, right, that's right. They have an
an
X-rated
X-rated
show.
one for the adults, and then they
Yeah.
have
Later.
later in the evening, and then earlier in the evening they have one that you could include
Yeah.
younger people, children.
Now we've been on mostly the Carnival cruise. We've been on other
Yeah.
cruises, but mostly Carnival. So what we
Yeah, so we're talking about Carnival.
We've
Yeah.
been on one other one.
yeah. So I mean we're talking mostly
Yeah.
Carnival cruises
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's kind of clear
The
that out.
Carnival's known as the fun ship. So
And
we
they do
hear that
have-
they do a lot more stuff
I
than
agree.
the other cruise ships.
You got martini bars. You got live bands. All through,
Everywhere.
and we
Yeah, all
love
types
sitting
of
there
bands.
watching the live bands.
You
It's
can walk
fun to
around and
watch
just be
live bands.
entertained by them. Yeah.
And it's very entertaining. On the ship side, we got pools, hot tubs, water slides. We run the water slides a
Yeah.
lot, Ron.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Roller coasters.
The
They have a
new
roller
ship,
coaster
the
on
new
the
ship
horizon.
has a roller coaster.
Yeah,
That one
pretty
ship
cool.
when we did the bicycle
Oh, that's
around
the
the ship.
one.
They have
the
a-
one we're getting ready to go on. You ride.
Yeah, they're
ride the
roller.
bike
It's like a
around.
roller. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
roller
the
coaster.
like
Over the
over
ocean.
top.
They have an
ride
adventure
bicycle
park.
over the ocean.
Adventure
Pretty,
park.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Golf.
They have right on the main deck. They have a lot of time. They have who can make the best mixed drink. Who's got the hairiest chest? You remember that one?
Right. Right.
Lots of party on the ship. Now, COVID may have changed some of that, but
Yeah.
you read on the
Yeah.
other day they still had all that, right?
Not,
Mm-hmm.
some things, but I don't know about some.
Yeah,
of the
some of it,
contests,
I
I'm not sure.
think I read somewhere they still have a lot
They
of
have
stuff.
dancing and, you know.
So, but with COVID, you got to be careful about your interaction with people and
Yeah.
all. We still want to kind of stay somewhat
Yeah, not too close.
too close too much. So we got that in mind too. But we'll update you on our next cruise here and kind of let you know some of the changes they made and all.
And-
All right.
And I just want to say one other thing too. And the cruise director is critical in these entertainment.
Some of
the
them are better
entertainment
than others.
aspect. He really does.
Yeah.
You know, depending on the cruise director, really does lead a lot of the entertainment aspect of the ship.
Right.
Some of them are better
Some
than
are better
others.
than others,
Yeah,
just like
but
in
they are
everything.
good. They are really good.
Right.
All right, let's move on to the next cruise secret. All right, everybody. Does everybody like the food on the ship?
Always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Huh?
it's
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
Food for everybody.
Food everywhere. We've been pretty happy with the food. I mean, some
Yeah.
of it's better than others. I mean, just like anywhere.
Right.
But one thing is there, when you go like in the evening, you got a menu you get. You can pick anything you want off the menu, and you can order as much as you want. Lobster night, I always order at least 3 lobsters for us. I mean, it's really good. Some of the recent ships we went, they had a Guy Fieri burger bar. I mean, that is
Right.
really
That's
good.
Yeah.
They have certain days they had that barbecue special on the side,
Right.
on the outside,
Right.
and that's
Absolutely.
really
Really
good.
good.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's so good.
Yeah.
But every day they have a lot of little sections like Chinese, Mexican sandwiches. They got the sandwich bar. I think they got the pizza 24 hours a day. I think.
Yeah, they do.
24
Yeah.
hours a day
That's
pizza.
about the,
Yeah.
You can always order. We don't do it that much, but room service. You can always order anything you want to the room
yeah.
and bring it right to the room. You see it sitting out in the hallway. People eat and set it right out in the hallway there. And they do have some higher class restaurants you actually can pay to go to. All the other ones are free. Eat all you want. They got a lot of buffet lines now. With the COVID, maybe they serve you now. We don't know yet because we haven't been on one since the COVID. But the more expensive restaurants, we have been to those. You got a steakhouse, you got an Italian restaurant, and they are
Excellent.
excellent. They're better than what you would normally get at some of the other ones.
We went to that one that was, what was it?
Asian one.
Asian,
They
yeah.
had an Asian one. I remember that.
The
Yeah.
name of it, but it was really
Yeah, I
good.
can't remember the name, but the Asian was really
Yeah,
good
that was
too.
really
I agree. The restaurants that you go to that you have to pay for, and it's not very much. It's
Not
very
bad.
very
Right, very
inexpensive
inexpensive,
compared to what you
overall.
would spend if you went
Yeah.
somewhere to
Yeah.
go to dinner.
Yeah.
It's well worth it. I would suggest them go to one time anyway.
Yeah.
If somebody goes on a cruise, I would suggest.
Oh, I have another thing is when you go to dinner, you can order off the restaurant menu. Like, for instance, if you want a lobster from the steakhouse
From the steak-
or
that's
steak
true.
from there, it's like $20 or $25, but you can order
So-
the regular dining.
When in the free dining room that you get anything you want right on the menu, you can order off the more expensive restaurant menu
Right.
and get that
If you
brought
want
to you
to.
too if you want that too that night. So that's a good point. All right, well, food's good.
They have some themes too, such as like
Oh,
a Mexican theme,
Well, they
you
had
know,
that
special, or a
yeah.
chocolate special time.
Yeah.
But
You know,
what's the
Have
other
the
thing they
buffet.
call it every time?
Did you
Did you?
Did you?
They call it,
try
did
this?
Did you try this? Did you
Yeah.
eat frog legs? Did you eat this? And did
Yeah.
you know they have some weird
Snail.
stuff.
Escargot.
Snail,
Escargot.
escargot, whatever.
Yeah.
So they do have some
Every
unique
night.
things, and sometimes depending on where you're at, they will
Right.
have the theme for that area. Jerk chicken from if you're near Jamaica or something. So sometimes they have
Oh,
that
yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
food's good.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to the next cruise secret. All right, now I want to talk about a few little tidbits along the cruise. One, certain days you can actually eat breakfast or brunch in the main dining room. It's not open all the time, the main dining room. You can go on the ship all the time, right? I mean, it's
The
food
buffet.
everywhere. The buffets and all the
Right.
time. But sometimes the main dining room during the cruise is open. And it's really good to go there and eat breakfast. We love to go there and
Yeah.
eat
I
breakfast
like the
in the
breakfast
mornings.
there.
Really good. So make sure you check, make sure it's open, and get your breakfast in the main dining room versus go to the buffets.
It's just more relaxing.
It's
You
less
sit down.
crowded. It's more relaxed.
You get served,
They
and it's
wait on
easy.
you.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So it's very nice.
And if you go with a group like we're going, like we go together, a lot of times we'll pick a spot, right, to hang out at. You know, whether it's deck 8, port side, on the chair, whatever. We'll find a
Serenity area.
spot. Or Serenity, they got a Serenity deck that is really nice.
For adults only.
Adults only, so you can go up there and get away from everybody and just chill out, have a drink. But anyway, we usually pick a spot where we all know if everybody's running around checking, going to casino, going to shows or whatever, you know, we all know to meet right at one spot. So pick a spot where everybody in your group knows that everybody kind of hangs out at. That way you can kind of slowly meander in and kind of meet up with everybody. I tell you one thing I like to do is I got a lot of stuff. I bring cameras, cell phones, computers,
Everything but
flashlights.
the kitchen sink.
I bring a multi-outlet strip because sometimes those rooms only have 2 outlets. And it's not enough. You know, your wife wants to plug the hair dryer and everything. Everything, everybody wants to plug their hands in. Not enough room. So bring a multi-outlet strip to plug all your chargers in. You want to charge your phone or your flashlights or whatever. I always carry a flashlight just in case the power goes off on the ship or something. You never know. But anyway, that's something you might want to bring with you. We talked about excursions, but you might want to book your excursion ahead of time if it's something you really want to do because they do book up. They will fill up. Right now with COVID, maybe they won't because some of these ships are running right now. They say it's 30, 40, 50%. But I mean, when we've gone before, we've gone and looked at excursion. It's booked.
Oh, yeah.
If you wait.
So if you wait too long, so check your excursion. I think you probably can check and see how many's left too, maybe, and you might be able to check that out. So make sure you check
And
that
sometimes
out.
during the cruise, you can go to the excursion desk and make changes.
Yeah,
If there's vacancies.
and if somebody
Yeah.
dropped out, you could possibly
Right.
get in. So
And
that's
if you
possible.
decide you don't want to go, they'll cancel it and give
Yeah,
you
you
money
can get your
back.
money
Absolutely.
back. You know, if you, so book ahead. If you decide now, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Cancel, get your money back. You're still good, but you get your excursion if you want to go. So, all right, that's another secret for you. All right, stay tuned. We got a couple more. All right, let's talk about exiting the ship. They give you a couple options. Sometimes you can actually have them take your luggage off and pick your stuff up, or you can carry your own luggage off. A lot of times we carry our own luggage off, and a lot of people do that. And it does clog the elevators up.
Yes.
So
Yes, it does.
sometimes we're what they call VIP because we've been on so many cruises. So sometimes we get a little extra and getting off earlier, or we get a little thing. But if you're not, some people will have to wait a long time to get off. So a couple things I want to make sure you understand. When you're booking your flight home, don't book it too close to the times they say you can get off because you could get held on board for a little bit longer than you think. Sometimes when they pull in the port, you know, they have problems or
They
maybe
won't
they're
let
late.
people off the ship or something.
Yeah, so don't book it too close because you miss your flight. You'll miss your flight home and you'll have to rebook and everything. So give it a few extra hours. If you have to hang out in the airport for a couple hours, it's better than missing your flight and hanging out for a day. So make sure you don't book it too close to your exit time on the ship. And sometimes it takes a while to go from the ship to the airport. And it could be delays there if everybody's booked the taxis up, whatever. So make sure that you check that out when you get out.
And one of the other things is you don't necessarily have to fly to these ports. We have driven to
absolutely.
some of the ports, and they have a nice parking facility there. You can park your car, and as soon as you get off the ship, you just walk to your car. And of course, depending on where you live, you have to drive home.
Yeah.
So it doesn't just, if you want to book a cruise, it doesn't mean you have to fly there. You can always drive there if it's in close proximity to your home. When we live in Virginia, have driven to Florida.
In Miami,
On
we've
several
done like
occasions.
16 hours.
Right.
We drive
And
home
that's
16 hours.
also
We've
a
done
good
that
way
multiple
to go on a
times.
cruise.
Yeah.
If you need to cut some costs, that's
Yeah.
one way to do that.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about a flight getting
And the
canceled
parking
then,
is
so.
safe and
That's
secure.
true,
So, yeah.
Don't worry about that.
So there's multiple ways you can get home. And driving, we do drive sometime. We're getting ready to go on a cruise and we're flying. But multiple ways to get home, of course. But if you're flying, be careful of your time frame when you book your flight.
Yeah.
Right.
And one of the other quick things too is we've gone on a cruise, for instance, to Alaska, where we've gone up a couple of days or a day before, and then made a trip from Anchorage down to Seward and stopped and did some gold mining.
We had a good time.
Saw some viewing and everything. Looked at the Seward Glacier before we boarded the ship. It was awesome. And so, if you book a little, or if you fly a little early, you have an opportunity to do some sightseeing before you board the ship.
Right.
And that's like Miami. We go a day early all the time, and we have a good time. We go the night before. We go visit the town or drive around, go to the local eateries or whatever, and have a good time. So it's a lot of fun just going a day early, and you don't miss the boat though. And if something happens, you just miss that night, and hopefully you get in before the boat leaves. But that's why we tell you to always fly in a day ahead of time if you can. That is definitely a key as far as I'm concerned, because especially right now, you see what's the airline right now is canceling a lot. Southwest. I mean, they canceled all their flights, and you wouldn't have got out. You wouldn't have made the ship.
People miss their ships.
You missed it.
Oh yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. You
Just
saw
the
that.
other day.
Just the other day, she saw people missing the boat because Southwest canceled out, and Southwest is not going to pay you for your flight. Ain't happening. So going a day ahead is definitely key. If they had canceled a flight, I would have jumped in a rental car and drove down to Miami if I had to, to make sure I make the flight.
But some people don't live that close; they can't do that.
Right.
All right, stay tuned. I got one more thing I want to talk about. Places, everyone. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Are y'all ready to tell me the final secret? Are you ready?
Yep.
The final secret is, as you're watching this video, we're boarding a ship in Miami right now. We're going to 3 ports in the Caribbean. So, what I want you to do is, if you got something you want to know about on this cruise, make sure you put it down in the comments below. Let me know if you want to see something special. I'll try to do a video every day of what we got going on. If you just want to hang out with us, just subscribe the button down below, hit subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when I put a video out. And I do all kind of adventures, so stay tuned for all kind of adventures. But this particular adventure, we're going on a cruise right now, and we'll be putting out something every day. So stay tuned for that. Anybody got anything else want to add? Come on!
Click subscribe to the Gigmaster.
Good job.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody coming on. I hope we actually parlay some of our experience to you to help you prevent some problems you'll have in going cruising. I like cruises. I enjoy them. You don't have to do any cleaning. You don't have to do any cooking. You don't have to do any, nothing. It's really nice, because if you go on other vacation, a lot of times you're sitting there cleaning, trying, where are we going to go get something to eat? Let's go to the store, buy everything.
Unpack your suitcase for a week.
Oh my God, you unpack it one time and you're done. And they take you from port to port, and you never have to unpack your suitcase again. You don't have to pack up ever. You just keep getting up having fun. Anyway, I appreciate everybody coming along in this little educational experience. I hope it was educational. Don't forget to click like, comment below, share.
Subscribe to the Gigmaster.
You got it.
Pleasure cruises are awesome.
We'll see you on the next adventure.